Dragon Ball Super Superhero is a bold and fresh take on the 30-year-plus franchise with its newly enhanced form of 3D animation, as well as its complete shift to a forgotten fanbase that has been around since the Saiyan saga. Yamcha fans? Wait, what? No, I'm of course referring to the Gohan and Piccolo fans. The movie does a great job making classic nostalgic callbacks with these two, which go as far back to the original Dragon Ball series. And what's more impressive is the movie's ability to allow people who aren't familiar with the franchise to still follow along with the story, keeping both hardcore fans and newcomers entertained. While Dragon Ball Superhero is an absolute blast, however, the fusion of the new animation style and the story didn't align perfectly, leaving untapped potential, and like Cell Max, the film is powerful, but an incomplete version of something better. Now, I'll start with what makes DBSH so great, and one is the good-natured use of fan service. For instance, in the English version of the film, the narrator's opening line is,
"Perhaps, dear viewers, some among you have lived long enough to recall the name Red Ribbon Army,"
which is an awesome way to acknowledge their older fans who grew up watching the original Dragon Ball and DBZ series, helping them to be immersed into the story.
Great!
Then there are its references toward these shows, like getting to see a supersized Piccolo once more, along with the relationship Gohan and him have as student and mentor. Hell, even Commander Red's tradition of having names based on color is carried on here through his son, Magenta, and his associate, Carmine. The movie is just littered with fun things like this to pick up on. It of course doesn't end there. As we dive into the DBS side of things, one of the more interesting parts is glossed over, which would be when we discover a potential love prospect between Beerus and Cheelai. What makes this so interesting is because Cheelai clearly has a more romantic interest in Broly than Beerus. Therefore, this could create tension between the two fighters, possibly giving us an excellent matchup for the future. So, could Cheelai be the catalyst that finally pits the legendary Super Saiyan against the God of Destruction?
I'd like to think so!
Anyways, as much as I enjoy this film and think the story is beautifully told, however, there are a few shortcomings that stand out, beginning with the animation, which does look stunning. Moreover, it has improved a lot since Battle of the Gods. In spite of that, there are a few times with this 3D animation, the dialogue scenes really looked like a video game, such as with Piccolo and Pan, or between Magenta and Dr. Hedo. Overall, the look and feel in these moments just didn't fit well. Then, there's the story around Cell Max, which is fine, but I found it disappointing we never got to see his perfect form here, as well as him just being an oversized mad dog off a leash without any regenerative healing properties isn't as interesting or scary as, say, the cold, calculating, and nearly unkillable Menace who plagued all the Z fighters. So, it's a shame Gohan and Cell never got a true reunion here. The last thing I have against DBSH are the transformations. Where are the epic, earth-pounding, and eye-watering transformations that Gohan exhibited during the Cell Saga? And why wasn't something similar done for him and Piccolo in their own movie? Unfortunately, when it was time for both characters to transcend their power to reach a new physical form that we've never seen before, the transformation literally happened in a flash and it was over. Which goes against what is conventional in the Dragon Ball universe, or at the very least, the DBZ portion of it. While this movie isn't perfect, it is still a knockout of the park, and sure to be enjoyed for just about anyone. See? It's not often we see critics and fans on the same page, and it's really nice to see the creators were careful not to forget who they were making this movie for, but at the same time, we're also careful not to leave anyone behind, which is extremely rare and a delicate balance for a franchise of this magnitude. Although for some it may end there, but for fans who are asking, where does the story go from here? They'll have to find out
Next time on Dragon Ball Super.
Now, if you made it this far into the video, be sure to help support this channel by being my first 100 subscribers. It'll be a great milestone, and you'll be making history on this channel. To whom it may concern, Thank you for listening.